Hello there. It's Good Captain Clack, or Ralph Jr., or Ralph and Melissa 92, or whatever you know me as. And last time I read one of Shakespeare Hemingway's many epic Garfield stories, Garfield, King of Liberty, and I said at the end I would read another one of these. So here I am, reading one of his earlier Garfield stories. It's not as long as Garfield King of Liberty. It's only 1,100 words rather than 3,000 words. This won't take as long. It's called Garfield Sheen Instincts. Let's read the summary. Garfield talks to Charlie Sheen to save the show Two and a Half Men. Oh boy. Well, I kind of couldn't resist reading this story. I can't stand Charlie Sheen. I've never liked the guy. I only liked him when he was in. Oh, God. What was the name of that spoof movie he was in? Ah, damn. Now I have to look it up. What was the name of that spoof movie? It was the one making fun of Top Gun. Oh, boy. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Hot Shots. That's it. Hot Shots. That's the only time I ever liked Charlie Sheen. Hot Shots. So yeah, this is all about Garfield trying to save Two and a Half Men and keep him on that show. I remember when this was major news when he was leaving Two and a Half Men. And this was like all the news would talk about when he completely went off his rocker, saying he was a rock star from Mars and that he had tiger blood flowing through his veins. And of course, duh, winning. I have no idea why the news thought that was so newsworthy, but whatever. Well, like I said, I can't stand Charlie Sheen, so any story taking him down a peg is fine by me. So let's read Garfield Sheen Instincts. Okay, let's start. Garfield Sheen Instincts. Garfield was in his room doing Upside Down. For whatever reason, Upside Down is all one word. There is no space between those two words. Upside Down, push-ups. When John Arbuckle came to him in cry motion. Oh, John's already in here. Garfield, there is horror news! Not bad news. Horror news. Excuse me, my sinuses are acting up. Charlie Sheen is leaving Two and a Half Men, and it may not see the future days, said John Arbuckle, tears weeping of salty sadness. He's crying tears of salty sadness. Never mind the fact that John has never talked to Garfield ever, because we only ever see or hear Garfield's thoughts. They don't talk to each other. And heaven forbid Two and a Half Men ends prematurely. No! This cannot be! Two and a Half Men is America's favorite show. Is it really? I'm not entirely sure, but I think America's favorite show is actually American Idol. Which isn't all that much better, if you ask me. I'm not into reality TV and stuff like that. I don't care who America's next big pop star is, though apparently most of America does. But anyways, without it, America may crumble, said Garfield with concern. Oh yes, Two and a Half Men is such an important show that America just cannot survive without that show running. I never even liked the show that much. Then again, to be honest, I've never really liked live action sitcoms. I always like animated shows better. That's just me. That's who I am. But anyways, I'm rambling on again. What can we do, Garfield? How can we save America? Asked John Arbuckle in hopelessness. I will go see Charlie Sheen and make him see reasonableness. Reasonableness, said Garfield with voice of stern. Not with a stern voice, with a voice of stern. Garfield then hopped into his fighter jet. He's got a fighter jet. Garfield has a fighter jet with lasagna logo. Of course, Garfield would have a jet with a lasagna logo on it, and saluted John Arbuckle as he put on his helmet. I'm going under enemy lines. Be sure to hold the home front. Yeah, you don't want anybody messing with your home, do you, Garfield? Said Garfield to John Arbuckle as he took off and flew into the sky. I can't believe Garfield has his own fighter jet. That's an awesome mental picture, Garfield flying a fighter jet. As as Garfield flew into the sky and sped along the clouds, he noticed two shadows behind him. He was being followed! Uh-oh! Garfield's being pursued! There must be vile enemy of America hoping to crush 2.5 men, said Garfield with disgusting rage. Who on earth would want to add 2.5 men? Who would hate America so much? Ha ha, Garfield! We will stop you from talking to Charlie Sheen. That evil will rule worlds, said the enemy jets. The Jets planes themselves are saying this. We have talking jet planes. This is like Thomas the Tank Engine on steroids. We got talking jet planes. Yeah, and of course, if 2.5 men falls, the terrorists will conquer America. It's that obvious. You will rule the underworld, said Garfield as he dodged enemy fire and launched Homer missiles. Homer missiles? Not homing missiles. Homer missiles. Homer missiles. That just gives me this hilarious mental image of Garfield flying his jet plane as he shoots little Homer Simpsons at the enemy jet planes, and they shout out "Woohoo!" as they are fired at the jet planes. But when they're about to hit the jet planes, they scream "Go!" But I'm rambling again, so anyways, moving on, and launch Homer missiles at his enemies with super accuracy. No! Said the enemy jets as they exploded into mushroom clouds. They exploded into mushroom clouds. I didn't know those were nukes. Excuse me. With pesky enemies taken care of, Garfield continued to Charlie Sheen's house. When Garfield arrived, he parked his jet. Parked his jet where? On the front lawn? And went to the front door to knock. Knock, knock! This is Garfield. I am in need of speaking sense to Charlie Sheen, said Garfield with politeness. Gee, he sure doesn't sound polite. Then again, you gotta remember he's Chuck Norris in these stories, so... Yeah, I guess that does make it polite. I wonder if he's gonna get it on with any of Charlie Sheen's many hotties. Charlie Sheen knew it was Garfield and did not want to be convinced. So he rushed through the back door to his car for getaway escape. Of course, we gotta have a chase scene. We gotta make this an action story. I will escape so Garfield will never find me, said Charlie Sheen in panic. Garfield, however, saw Charlie Sheen escaping in his car, which for whatever reason car is capitalized, and knew what was up. You are damn fool, Charlie Sheen! Cried out Garfield to the sky, fists clenched with rage. Luckily, Garfield then saw a passerby driving. Not a passerby, a passerby. This is business! Get out, said Garfield as he forced his way into the passerby's car and kicked him out. He's like a police officer. This is official business. So he can pursue for maximum speed car chase. It's funny because he just name-checked the first Garfield story he wrote, Garfield Maximum Speed, which is, if I'm remembering right, it's a parody of the Speed movies. This just got real! Oh boy, did it ever, said Garfield as he sped off in pursuit. Garfield put the pedal to the metal and reached maximum speed, name-dropping his first story again as he caught up to Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen saw Garfield and tried to lose him through traffic, but Garfield effortlessly No, I said it wrong, but Garfield swerved effortlessly through traffic with top-notch driving skills. Of course, Garfield is the best driver ever. Staying on Charlie Sheen like glue on butter? Glue on butter. That is one of the weirdest analogies I've ever read. Like glue on butter. That makes no sense, but anyways, moving on. Because I don't want to dwell on it. It is time for final getaway, said Charlie Sheen as he pressed a secret button in his car which gave him a turbo booster. He's got a turbo booster in his car. Hasta la vista, Garfield, said Charlie Sheen in relief. Hey, only Arnold Schwarzenegger could say that, not you. Oh no, he is escaping, said Garfield with worry. All had seemed lost when Garfield heard a familiar voice. I can already guess who it is. Amaku! It was John Arbuckle speeding for the opposite direction in a Hummer! John's got a Hummer now. John is like one of the last people I'd expect to own a Hummer. I have no idea why, but every time he shows up in these Garfield fanfics, he always shouts out, Amaku! I have no idea what that's all about, but anyways, moving on. You are not escaping to anywhere, said John Arbuckle as he crashed his Hummer into Charlie Sheen's car, pinning him to a wall. And just like that, this epic chase scene is over. Thank you, John Arbuckle. You are top-notch vigilante catcher, said Garfield with gratitude. Garfield and John Arbuckle leaped out of their cars. Garfield and John Arbuckle make a damned awesome team. And ran to Charlie Sheen, who had only small bruises and broken bones. Damn, he broke some of his bones. Taking him captive. You gotta take him captive. He won't respond any other way. They then took him to a secret warehouse where they could talk sense into him. You gotta forcefully convince him to stay on 2.5 Men. Charlie Sheen, you must return to 2.5 Men. It brings joyousness. It doesn't bring joy, it brings joyousness to thousands of men, women, and children, pleaded John Arbuckle with eyes full of tears. You crying because he's going to leave the show? Really? Come on, man. I know you're not that tough of a guy, John, but you're more manly than that. Come on. If not, do it for me. Do it for America, said Garfield Hart. Garfield himself isn't saying this. It's his heart that's saying this. His heart is talking, said Garfield Hart with love for his country. Yes, if you love 2.5 Men, you really are a true American patriot. No, I want to pursue solo projects and become super movie star actor. He already was. I refuse, pouted Charlie Sheen with stubbornness. I honestly can't remember if he got canned from the show or if he left on his own. I can't remember now. I'd have to look that up. I don't even care that much about him getting canned from the show anyways, but I'm probably have to look that up to make sure. Very well, you leave us no choice, said Garfield with sadness. Garfield began to take something out of a closet which worried Charlie Sheen. Oh boy. What are madness you going to be doing? That sentence makes no sense, asked Charlie Sheen with worry. We have no choice. We must waterboard you. Waterboard him? Damn! That is pretty torturous, said Garfield with regret. Regret is capitalized for some reason. Excuse me. No! Cried out Charlie Sheen with despairing shout. Damn. Well, like I said, I don't like Charlie Sheen, so I certainly don't have any objections to him getting waterboarded. This will hurt you more than it hurts me, said Garfield with heavy heart. Well, no, duh! You're waterboarding him. It's not like you're getting waterboarded too, Garfield. Is there no ways other? Another sentence that makes no sense, asked John Arbuckle with concerned face. This is the only way to talk sense, said Garfield with convinced eyes. You got no other choice. You must waterboard him. With these sad words, Garfield began waterboarding Charlie Sheen with his waterboard. Well, no, duh. Of course you're going to waterboard him with a waterboard. What else are you going to waterboard him with? A guillotine? For sake of patriotism and civilization. Wow, once again I'm feeling my heart fill up with extreme pride for my country. No, the pain! Cried out Charlie Sheen. Only after you see the rightness of 2.5 men. Not 2.5 men, 2.5 men will pain be ended for good, said Garfield with truth. After 48 hours of waterboarding. Damn, 48 hours of waterboarding. You probably pretty much destroyed any sense of sanity he might have had. Charlie Sheen began to see the wrongness in his ways. Garfield, you are right. I was a wrong, stupid idiot to leave 2.5 men, said Charlie Sheen in realization. Yay, he's going to stay with 2.5 men. So are you of right thinking now? Asked Garfield with wonder. Yes, thank you for waterboarding me, Garfield. He thanks Garfield for waterboarding him. I would not expect anyone to actually thank someone for doing that to them, said Charlie Sheen with gratitude. No problem. I do what is best for you, said Garfield with pride. With these words, Charlie Sheen went back to set for filming more episodes of 2.5 Men for all to enjoy. You wish, Shakespeare Hemingway. Garfield and John Arbuckle were getting ready to head home when Garfield's phone began ringing. Who is this? Demanded Garfield with lightning energy. Garfield has lightning energy. This is President Obama. Oh God, he's getting a call from Obama. I want you to come to White House so I can personally thank you for saving 2.5 men. Garfield is a national hero for saving 2.5 men, said President Obama on the phone. Like I said, Garfield is the greatest hero that ever lived. Very well, we will go to White House for praise, said Garfield, hanging up the phone. Garfield and John Arbuckle flew to White House on Garfield's jet and landed on the lawn. I thought they didn't allow any planes near the White House's front lawn. President Obama was there to greet them with prizes. Thank you, Garfield, for waterboarding Charlie Sheen and saving 2.5 men. Another person thanking Garfield for waterboarding Charlie Sheen. Hey, like I said, I never liked Charlie Sheen. I sure didn't mind seeing him getting waterboarded. America owes you much. Yes, for without Garfield convinced Charlie Sheen to stay on 2.5 Men, the terrorists would have conquered America. Here is the Medal of Honor. Garfield gets the Medal of Honor for saving 2.5 Men. He truly is one of this country's greatest heroes, like I've said numerous times. And the key to the city. He got the key to D.C. and a lifetime supply of lasagna. Of course, said President Obama with gratitude. Thank you for these prizes, but the lasagna will only be lasting 2.5 hours, said Garfield with witty jokes. Of course, Garfield is going to suck up all that lasagna and be thrice as fat as he is. I'm guessing he's fat in this story since there's no mention of his amazing ripped muscles. Said President Obama and John Arbuckle, laughing at Garfield's wit. That wasn't that funny. Garfield, John Arbuckle, and President Obama laughed and laughed at Garfield's funny joke. Again, it wasn't that funny, knowing that 2.5 Men would be on forever. It will. Just with Ashton Kutcher instead of Charlie Sheen. The end? Wow. I just read a Garfield story in which Garfield does not get it on with anybody. Yeah, this was definitely one of his earliest stories. He must not have gotten all the trademarks of his Garfield stories down pat yet. I am pleasantly surprised that Garfield didn't get it on with nobody. Oh, and there's an author's note at the end. Author's note. If Charlie Sheen is reading this, I hope he realizes his errors and will stay on 2.5 Men for his own good and good of country. The odds of Charlie Sheen reading this would be what, 1 in a billion? And obviously, this story did absolutely nothing as he is no longer on a 2.5 Man and Ashton Kutcher took his place. So that was Garfield Sheen Instincts, and once again, I give you a thumbs up, Shakespeare Hemingway. I was entertained reading that. It was definitely an entertaining read. I can't go wrong with Garfield waterboarding Charlie Sheen after all. What will I read next? Probably not going to read another one of this guy's stories next. I'll probably read more, though. I wonder what I'm going to read next. Well, anyways, this was Ralph and Melissa 92, or Good Captain Clack, or Ralph Jr., whatever you know me as, saying, I hope you enjoy. Excuse me. Hope you enjoy Garfield Sheen Instincts. I did.